Hello everyone, and today I would like to talk to you about the necessity of sustainable forestry in the tropics, a pathway to sustainable development. We are living in unprecedented times. First, we had the outflow and the aftermath of the pandemic. There have been armed conflicts and disturbances in world peace. As a consequence, we have suffered disrupted supply chains, huge rates of inflation and currency rate ratios exchanges, extreme weather events, ecosystem degradation, and all this cumulatively has resulted in an urgent need for higher awareness of the need for sustainable development. Who is the International Tropical Timber Organization? We are the sole governmental organization focused entirely on tropical forest resources. The ITTO members cover 80% of global tropical forests, and this membership accounts for 90% of trade in tropical forest products. The organization has a dual mandate to promote the sustainable management and conservation of tropical forests, and to promote the expansion and diversification of trade in tropical timber from sustainably managed and legally harvested forests. The organization is based in the city of Yokohama, hosted by the government of Japan. There are several examples of international commitments on sustainability which directly relate to forests, and of course this includes tropical forests. The ones I wish to highlight for your edification would be the G7 Ministers for Climate, Energy and the Environment, which held a meeting in Berlin in September of this year. We have the Glasgow Leaders Declaration on Forests and Land Use from November 2021, resulting from the COP26. There is also the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development, which is an annual event. We have the Paris Agreement, of course, which is tied to the current negotiations on the Climate Change Accord. We have the Convention on Biological Diversity, we have the Global Environment Facility, and finally we have the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Sustainable Development Goals. This list, of course, is non-exhaustive. Tropical forests sits at the core of the Sustainable Development Goals, and it is crucial for human well-being. Forests are essential for life on Earth. 31% of the planet's land surface consists of forests. Forests are among the world's most productive land-based ecosystems. It is estimated that 1.6 billion people globally depend on forests for their subsistence. Tropical forests represents 45% of global forests. Nonetheless, the threat to forests, particularly tropical forests, continue. Deforestation and forest degradation are reported to be continuing. Major drivers of tropical deforestation continue to be activities that favor competing land uses that produce higher and more rapid financial returns. And these sectors that compete for forest land use are agriculture, energy, mining, and infrastructure. Illegal logging, wood fuel collection, the fragmentation of disturbances from insects, disease, and severe weather events and wildfires are also a consequence. The escalating impacts of climate change and biodiversity loss can never be underestimated. And there is also a question whether tropical forestry is actually misunderstood. Forest-based enterprises and international trade add value to the existence and longevity of tropical forests and can contribute positively and significantly to sustainable economies and livelihoods. The share of tropical wood in major markets is affected, of course, by the negative environmental image of tropical wood and misconception. However, its substitution by non-tropical wood and non-renewable materials, non-environmentally friendly materials, such as plastics, non-wood laminates, concrete, and metals, needs to be reconsidered. Consumer markets are overlooking the significant benefits of tropical forest products as a renewable and environmentally friendly resource. Sustainable tropical forestry, from the ITTO's point of view, is key in meeting future demands and the SDGs. The world population is projected to reach 9.7 billion by 2050. Competition for land use, of course, is predicted to intensify. And at the same time, this will also accelerate demand for forest products and ecosystem services. The sustainable management of productive forests in the tropics and a sustainable tropical timber trade can contribute positively to future wood demand and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Moving forward, of course, there are needs that need to be addressed in ensuring the implementation of sustainable forest management in the tropics. Primarily, sustainable strategic investments in forests are critical for promoting transformative changes and inclusive solutions to steer restoration and conservation, forest management, viable forest-based industries, and a sustainable timber trade towards a circular bioeconomy. The tropical wood products industry also needs transformative public and private investments to promote the sustainable production and consumption with an enabling environment for private investments aimed at sustainable profits. Sustainable business development involving wood and non-wood forest products, as well as a wide range of ecosystem services, will enable local communities and indigenous peoples and smallholders to improve their livelihoods. Moving forward, the key elements that need to be considered are the role and contribution of sustainably managed tropical forests supported by landscape restoration in the tropics to overcome climate challenges. This must be recognized and fully supported. Increased governance and enforcement, of course, is essential for the positive and effective implementation of sustainable forest management, while contributing to legal and sustainable supply chains and enriching livelihoods and the empowerment of communities. Multi-stakeholder involvement and gender parity are equally critical. The empowerment in decision-making will result in social, environmental, and economic benefits being positive contributions to the global forest goals and the Sustainable Development Goals. As a result of all this, increasing public awareness that harvesting wood sustainably is simply not deforestation, whilst the global community stimulates the appreciation for legal and sustainable timber supply chains. While we are at it, please do take a look at the International Tropical Timber Organization's website. URL is www.ittto.int. I hope I have given you a snapshot of how much tropical forestry can do for people and the planet.